I considered for a second doing like a Southern preacher thing to like jokingly open, but it would just sound racist, so
Oh,
I'm
you
just
don't want to
not gonna
bust
do
out your
it.
foghorn leghorn for
Now
this?
I say, boy. It's only okay if it's foghorn leghorn. Otherwise, it's like ambiguous enough that I'm not stepping into it. But if I'm just like, now that there's a chicken boy and you're a chicken hawk, like, which kind of was a theme in this movie if you really think
It
about
kind of
it.
was, yeah, absolutely. Who the fuck are we?
Yeah,
You
welcome to
started
the
to go.
Devil's Work podcast. I say again. Welcome to the Devil's Work podcast. My name is Skeptic, and the laughing man is Sideshow.
Oh, that was amazing.
And today we're talking about a really exciting movie, hence
Hell
us both
yeah.
being in a really good mood. Neither of us are sick to our tummies after this one. Only
Yeah,
when you think
exactly.
about the real life times when this is set, and
Yeah, yeah.
thankfully it
Yeah,
ends
exactly.
it ends further in time, so you
Oh
feel you
man.
feel a little better about
And
it.
you get a really satisfactory ending too.
Oh
Oh my
jeez.
God, that was so good.
Oh geez, Rick.
We will get into it, but yes, we are talking about Ryan Coogler's Sinners.
Sinners one and all.
Good Lord, this movie rips, bro. We just got like, I'll like peek behind the curtain. We just got out of the screenings today. Both of us like
Hmm.
saw it, and I mean, yeah,
About the time I was leaving, you were going
I was
in.
going in. Yeah, oh my God,
It's got to be about 2.5 hours long.
it was like a little. It's like 2:13 or 2:11 or something. Yeah, I was
217.
gonna say it's something
217, and it uses the whole runtime.
at
Stay in your
so
seat.
effective. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Stay in your seat when the credits start rolling, because yeah, for sure. I
People
was like,
left.
people, like,
Like half
that's
the
so
theater
funny.
left. It was like the movie's pretty clear about the fact that it's not done. Like
And
like
also, when the lights go on, that's when you leave. You don't leave before the lights go on.
yeah.
It's very
How
whatever.
it's the big 25, okay?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
get it
exactly.
together.
Big 25.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
it was I've seen it described basically as From Dusk Till Dawn,
Mhm.
and it's it weirdly is and isn't.
I was thinking the same exact thing. Like, as I was watching it, I was waiting for it to just be that. And it never fully was like it did at one point. It
There
just
was a
it kicks.
Salma Hayek.
Yeah, yeah, for
There
sure.
literally
That's what
was
I'm saying.
a
No, dude, and like when he's standing outside when they first meet, what's his name? The harmonica dude who plays the keys and everything.
I want to say
Uh
Slim,
yes, he played yeah, Delta Slim, that's right. So
Delta
Delroy
Slim.
Lindo, dude, Delroy Lindo in this fucking movie. I was like, yo, it's so good to see you again, man. I remember Gone in 60 Seconds is like one of my
I
favorite
kind of
movies.
forgot Michael B. Jordan wasn't twins a couple times in this movie.
You know, it's
I
he
think I'm just now
no, yeah.
remembering that he's one guy.
It genuinely like that's what I was also expecting at one point. I was like, is it gonna be very samey, like one note for his characters? But like they were twins, but like there were very different performances in their own rights. It
We
was very cool.
we should say really quickly that this episode is an icky quickie, we
Oh
call
yeah.
them. So
But-
this is a little more informal than our usual
yeah.
sort of plot recap.
This
If
is
you
our
can't
this is our
stomach the
loose this is our
movie,
loosen the belt episode.
yeah, this is just us, talking about likes and dislikes, and baby, this is gonna be a gush fest. So get the
Hmm.
poncho out. We're going full Gallagher. This movie is insane,
Absolutely.
start to finish insane. What's really funny is there's a line in here where I think it's Haley Steinfeld says when they first see her, one of the main characters.
Hmm.
So Michael B. Jordan plays twins, Smoke and Stack, the
Yep.
Smoke Stack twins, and I think their names are Elias and Elijah. And
Yes. Yeah, they do say their real names in the movie. It's very quick, but yeah, it happens.
they have different colored and different styled hats to make it
Hmm.
like pretty
Hmm.
easy for you for most of the
Smoke
movie.
is blue, Stack is red.
Yes.
That's like yeah, it's very clear. And I appreciated that delineation too. I appreciated that. Like
Yes, no, totally. And then we also have the actual main character played by Miles
Yeah, was it Slim
Catan. I'm
or
guessing
what was it, Sammy? Sammy?
that's Sammy, Preacher
Mm-hmm.
Boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's the real protagonist of the
Yeah,
movie,
yeah,
and they let you know that from the beginning. But
yeah.
there's a line where they mention that Haley Steinfeld. So Miles's character Sammy, he looks at her and he looks at her butt is what he does, and he says maybe she's not fully white, something along those lines.
Oh
I can't
yeah,
remember
that's
how he
right. He it's a dig at him. It's a dig at at Stack. But
it's, and then they mentioned that her mother's father was black, I think they said. So I believe it makes
yeah.
her a quarter black,
Yes.
which is an interesting thing to just like throw into the script. And
You're right. You're right.
she's very white passing, but
Mm-hmm.
that is true about her.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that's really funny that, Coogler would be like, "Oh no, I'm going to include this, but like I'm going to fucking vet." I'm
Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's like the movie has a lot to say without being like without really beating you over the head with it.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
really is
totally,
very,
totally.
very
It's
subtly written.
it's a historical drama, it's
Hmm.
a musical,
Yeah.
it's a family drama, it's a
Straight up.
gangster movie.
If okay,
It's
straight up, if they had one more song in there, it's just a musical. Like it's just you
it
could do a Broadway production.
they did end with a
A
song.
song,
So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like tying it back around, it's straight up is just a musical. It's so good.
it's the most American horror movie like
Possible.
in a
Yeah.
long time. Like, and it's
Yeah.
funny because the probably the last most American horror movie would be Nope.
Yeah.
This and
Yeah.
Nope,
Yeah.
in just in terms of like being a thing that could only happen here and are based around things here and have
Yeah.
so
Same here. Yeah.
much. And
They're
then
based in the culture of here, personally. You know what I mean? Or, like,
yeah, yeah. And it's funny as, rappers like we have to openly and often acknowledge the fact that we make black music,
hmm.
that black people created this art form
Yep.
and that we are, taking part in it.
Hmm.
And it's not in like a preachy, ridiculous way or being like, oh,
No.
we're a guest in this house.
Yeah.
Just simply, I'm not going to sit here and go, hey, man, it's not that. It is.
Yeah. It's
It
straight up
is,
is.
and they deserve
And
the flowers for it, and you should honor that fact.
and that's what I think this movie does a great job of doing because they specifically talk about the fact that that the music that they brought over was theirs. That was
Yeah.
something that was not forced on them, that was theirs. And I love that it like in the scene we're gonna talk about, definitely we're gonna
Oh,
spoil it. But yeah, in that scene in particular, they definitely pull the scope
that
back
shit,
of everything.
like it was
Dude,
so
I was
good. It
like
was so
screaming in
good.
the theater. I was like, yo,
It
what
was
the
so
fuck?
good. We were sitting next
So
to two
good.
white guys, and they left like as soon as the director card flashed, and Amanda went, "Yeah, they're probably sick of all the white hate."
That's so good. Yeah.
Yo, Ryan
Oh
Coogler,
my God.
especially as a Bay Area native. I'm from San
Oh, is he?
Francisco.
Oh, okay, okay.
Well, I'm saying I'm from San Francisco.
Okay.
I've lived in the Bay my whole life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's from the Bay as well. I believe
I
he
did
is
not
from
know.
Oakland.
Sick.
Yeah, born in Oakland. I know his dad is a Giants fan, which is funny because normally that you would be an A's fan if you're from Oakland. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe his dad's from San Francisco and then they just had him there. But I digress. Having a Bay Area filmmaker, you know, who just is hitting this hard is incredible to see. Did he also do Freaky Tales? Whose movie is that?
Which one was that?
No, that's not by him. That's another Bay Area movie that just came out.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Yeah, no, I did not know where he was based on that. Yeah, for sure. That you gotta definitely feel some sort of pride after
that's
this.
that's
Like,
why in Black Panther there were scenes shot in Oakland,
oh,
and there's like
funny.
a school that the Wakandans set up that's in
In
Oakland.
Oakland. That's funny. I didn't know that. Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I mean, this dude's. I mean, again, you're coming off of the back of Black Panther,
Hmm.
Creed, and now
Hmm.
this. Like, he has hit so many different types of genres, even in this movie alone.
I
Like,
love
literally, just this movie.
I love that he's taking Michael B along for the ride with
Oh
him on
yeah,
like
dude.
everything. The dude's an incredible
God,
actor.
acting his ass off in
It's
this
crazy
movie.
that he's Wallace from The Wire, but again, I digress.
That's so funny. I
He's
love
just
how
he,
often The
he,
Wire comes up on this
he's
show.
just such a baby in that show that
Yeah.
it's like literally I rewatched it recently. Then one of the episodes it said Michael B. Jordan. I was like, oh yeah, shit, I forgot he was in this.
Hmm.
Wait, who the fuck is he? And then I looked and I was like, holy shit, that little string bean,
You little
like
so and so.
it's so funny. Like he's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
so tiny in The Wire.
Dude,
Um,
okay, so I really want to talk like today I really had different expectations about this movie going into it, which is
me
not
too. Me
yeah,
too. I had
like
entirely different. I thought it was gonna be an entirely different
entirely
movie.
different movie. That's what I'm saying. I really, really was pleasantly surprised though, and I genuinely, I cannot stress it enough. Go watch this movie in theaters. Like, go
Yeah.
watch this movie in theaters before we really start spoiling it. This movie is very much a theater ass
Yeah,
movie.
go to the theater, then listen to the rest on your ride home.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. Hey, there you go.
God,
Absolutely.
it is yeah, it's incredible. And
Absolutely.
basically the conceit is, these twins who I don't know if you caught this, but they're
Mhm.
World War I veterans.
Barely. There's a lot of talk about them being soldiers and stuff,
Th-
so I could.
there's a line specifically where I forget who, but one of the twins says to the other, "I've had your back through German trenches and
Yeah.
Chicago streets."
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's exactly which oh man, we're gonna get into that their relationship even more and stuff onto it when we get into the spoilers. But
Yeah.
my
So
God, dude, Michael B. Jordan is just acting his fucking ass off for every single scene he's in. He just chews the scenery. It's so good.
yeah. So basically they come home to Mississippi and their cousin who is the son of a preacher is a great blues guitarist. They gave him his
Mhm.
guitar
That
and
motherfucker's speaking voice is sick. I was
yeah,
like, damn,
yeah,
dude.
I didn't
I was like,
expect
God
that.
damn.
That shit is low.
Yeah,
That is
exactly. He got that bass in his
but he
voice.
could fucking like hit
Oh
notes
yeah, he
too,
was singing the
So it's
fuck out of those songs.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like when the music stuff happened though, I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off.
I
Go
know.
ahead. Yeah, sorry, keep going. Sorry, sorry.
So they come home. They've got some money that they've got somehow while they were in Chicago
Mhm.
that is of dubious origin and we're not sure where it's from. And
Fell
they
off the
also
back of a
have
truck.
exactly. And then they also have the truck that it fell off of. And on the back of the truck
Oh,
is
man.
everything they need, thank you, to open a bar because this is set in 1932. So they open
Just after, huh? It's
yeah.
just after Prohibition ended. That's
Yeah.
interesting. That's that
Yeah.
just I just kind of put that together. That's very interesting.
Yeah, because there's a line where they also mentioned they may have been working for Capone. So that
For
could be
sure.
why they left because all of that dried up,
Hmm.
now that
Interesting. That does tie a lot of that together. That's really interesting. Okay, that's
so they're
cool.
opening a bar and throwing a party and everybody's invited,
Hmm.
except for some certain guests who really insist on an explicit invitation,
Hmm.
and those are vampires.
Yeah.
You like that? You see what I
Yeah,
did there?
I love that. That was clever.
It's
Yeah, it
it's a
it
vibe.
dude, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like when you have so much of the movie is spent building up these characters and building out the world, like filling out the world that they're in.
There's like 10 minutes of vampires.
That's what I'm saying. Like
To be totally
it's
honest.
crazy,
But
dude.
but I don't feel robbed. I feel fine.
No, 100%. Those 10 minutes are fucking awesome
Like
too. Like,
I totally thought that they were gonna be like, "Oh, hey guys, where'd you get all this money?" Well, we killed some fucking, white people, rich white people that were
hmm
vampires, and then we took
hmm
all their shit. And oh no, like maybe some of those vampires' friends came down to get us or something along those lines.
yeah,
But it seems to be more just they robbed the Italians and the Irish and left them fighting each other
yep.
and
That's
came
exactly
down
what it is.
here.
Yep.
And
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And so I just thought from the very beginning they were going to be, oh, we're vampire hunters. We know all this stuff, blah blah blah. We're doing all these
Sort
like
of like a supernatural thing.
trick shot backflip, like
Yeah, yeah.
that's totally what I expected was like
Yeah.
the that one scene from La Horde, but a whole movie.
Yeah, and like that's the thing too. When I went in, that's that I did weirdly enough. That I'm gonna say two things about the trailer. One, the trailer, every single time I saw it, I was hyped for this movie. It has not happened in a long time where I keep seeing a trailer repeatedly in things, and I am like increasingly hyped for watching a movie. It is very rare that that happens. This makes this one of my most anticipated movies of the year for sure. And then two, the movie, the trailer does a great job of not really giving you what the movie is. Like we were saying, they kind of just show half of a lot of the vampire shit.
Hmm.
They really do just lean in them with that. And then, but that's really not what this movie is. The movie is beautiful, like
Yeah,
beautiful. It's a
well, well,
love story to
well.
like music.
It's about bringing you in, and you're totally
Mhm.
right. It's about bringing you in
Yeah, I got
and
to ass in
getting you,
seat.
yeah, getting your dumb ass to sit down so that you can enjoy this honestly like highly intellectual, highly
Absolutely.
thematic, highly
I
emotional,
yes.
like honestly there I couldn't even count the amount of times during this movie that I was like, "Oh man, I could cry right now if I really just let
Straight the
myself
fuck
go.
up, dude. Straight
If I
up.
really just let the walls
Straight
down,
up. Oh
you
my
know?"
god, dude. I love that we're so psychically linked watching this movie.
I was like,
Straight
"Damn."
up, dude. I was like, am I choking up? What the fuck? This is a vampire movie.
As like I come from a very very big family.
Mhm.
There's six siblings in my immediate family alone. I've got
That's
cousins.
wild.
I've got probably 12 or 13 nieces and nephews. Like it's a
God
very very large
damn.
family. And there were parts in both Smoke and Stack where I saw different aspects of my own family. And
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
musician, I've had my family members tell me there's a part where, like, when he first plays for Stack, he cannot believe it. He is beside himself.
Yep.
And it
Oh my god, that
immediately,
part got me too, dude.
it,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
immediately made me think of one of my brothers in particular. And
Uh
then later, when he talks to Smoke, and Smoke tells him, "This is your last time ever doing this. I'm
hmm
glad you got to have a good time. You're gonna go do what your dad does, and this is a hobby. This is nothing more."
Yep.
And I've had the same brother give me both of those talks,
Talks, yeah. Yeah. No, it's beautiful.
and it,
That's what I mean. This movie did something way different than what it showed you it was going to be doing, which
hmm
I love. Like, shout out to the mark because we always talk about how many of the quickies have we talked about where we feel like the movie was spoiled because of the trailer
hmm
specifically, and like
yeah,
the marketing around it, where it's just like this. This completely fucking pulled the fucking rug out from underneath everyone. It's
yeah.
so well done.
And a lot of the things that happen, I feel like in most other movies, like certain people would have been safe and
Yeah,
things along those lines.
yeah.
And I think I was surprised by how bold some of the decisions were. And then
hmm
once we got that final scene, it put such a
Great,
crazy,
great
like,
fucking ending. Oh.
honestly, it's like comforting and horrific at the same time
hmm
in a way that I've not experienced since Martyrs. And it's not the same kind of movie
Interesting.
as Martyrs.
Ooh, I want to talk about that when we get to the ending, dude. I'm
Yeah.
so curious to hear that.
But just in terms of how that ending is like a huge gut punch, but also
Mhm.
you're kind of like, yeah, somebody got what they deserved here.
For sure, for sure, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That, yeah, I could see the read on that being similar to that. I'm just like that's a wild comparison to bring a fucking
Yeah,
dog.
just the amount of emotion,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
without, skinning somebody alive on the screen for us.
Yeah, and like, and also that's to say, it is violent. It does get violent towards the end. There's some really good fucking violent sequences in here, but it's not like anywhere near like people were talking about it as if it was a bloodbath and yada yada. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know about all that. Like, again, maybe we're desensitized. I don't know, but
It's funny how much of it's funny how I hated Longlegs for being like pretty
stylistic.
well, not that, but because I liked the stylism of
Oh,
it,
sure, sure.
like, but yeah, it was the execution, but
Hmm.
how it was pretty much Silence of the Lambs.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know how it's pretty
Yeah,
much
by another
Seven.
skin. Yeah.
Yeah, how it's
Yeah.
pretty much The Cell. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but this also didn't really reinvent the wheel. Instead, what it chose to do was make you just feel shit the entire time.
Yeah, I put 20-inch spinners on the fucking wheel, man.
Oh, big time. And there was only like one thing in all of the like saccharine emotion of it where I was just like, well, that's stupid. And that's pretty good for me. That's pretty good
One
for
thing
me.
out of a two and a fucking two, a little over 2 hour runtime of a movie is pretty good. Like that's pretty damn good for anybody.
And it's like not even it's just how religious people depict the afterlife is bonkers to me. So it's
For
not even a
sure. I think I
real
know exactly what you're talking about. I think
it's
we
the
might have even,
baby.
I think we've, yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure.
Like I'm thinking about all the implications of that. You
Yeah, yeah,
know,
yeah, for
like
sure. That's
a baby in heaven? You fucking
for
it's
sure, for sure. This is a little, that's, yeah, there were parts, and like parts of it felt like in another director's hands, it could go a veer a little too into the corny realm.
Mhm.
Like parts of it were like like that's what I'm saying. He handled all of it so delicately and like with a great vision. And all of it just felt like one cohesive thing that I was just so engaged with the entire time.
It honestly it kind of felt like two or three movies in one.
Yes,
Or maybe like two and a half movies in
I
one.
felt the same exact way.
There will be a sequel.
You think so?
There has almost has to be a sequel.
I mean, with how successful I imagine this is going to be, like, there's no way this doesn't. This is gonna break some records in some aspect. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very
It's
certain of that.
it's already at 26.1 million. Budget was
Jesus.
90 to 100.
Yeah, they're
You
seeing that back immediately.
double that for
First
uh
weekend alone.
no, double that budget for the marketing is usually as much as the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, you
Which I mean, it's
know,
got Warner Brothers backing. They're gonna be fine with. You know
y-
what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
It's gonna be fine. But I mean, like already to make an eighth of the money in, you know, one day
it's
is pretty
insane,
crazy.
insane.
Um, but yeah, it's so many different movies in
Yeah,
one, it feels like, but also this one big cohesive thing, and it just goes on and on, but not in a bad way. I had no
absolutely
idea
not.
how long the movie was, and after like 45 minutes, I did turn to Amanda and was like, there's gonna be like 10 minutes of vampires. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah, straight. Yeah, because I was like, even then, I was like, I could just watch that movie. Like, I was totally
yeah,
fine just watching that movie.
I almost kept forgetting that vampires were
Vampires were gonna
coming.
be. Yep.
Yeah, it was like it was funny how it kept happening. I'd be like, "Oh man, I really want to see what happens with that." No, there's vamp
Exactly.
like
Remember why you're here, damn it.
yeah, adjust your expectations. I'm like,
Remember
"Man,
who
I
you are.
yes, exactly. I want to see this guy's music career."
Yeah,
Um
dude. It's straight. It's so yeah, and but you get that too. You get that out. You actually get that ending from the fucking movie. It's so funny. Like
true.
it's so oh man. Okay, well let's wrap up the beginning and then we're gonna get into spoilers because I definitely want to talk more in depth about some shit.
Yeah,
But
so I think I already said they're going to open this bar and have this
mm-hmm.
party.
Yep.
And it just spirals from there.
And
It's
then
just
hilarity ensues.
yeah, truly the non-spoiler version.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's really all you need. And like that sounds like a really big like whatever. Like we're kind of just like brushing over it, but it's right that's as much of the movie as you really need to get you in the seat because there's it's really about like the little details in this movie and like the relationships between the characters that I think makes it really worth watching. Like the premise alone, if they just told me like that's I think I even texted you that. I even told you I was like it's basically just a new age from dusk till dawn.
Yeah.
Like
Y-
that's what it feels like, you know what I mean, from the trailer. And it
Yeah.
definitely was not that, which I was so pleasantly surprised with.
And I generally try to like avoid trailers, so I never really watched like I saw like the initial trailer for it,
Mhm.
and it was up in the air to me whether they were humans or vampires or
Yeah.
what one of each or what the
Demons or
situation
whatever. Yeah,
was.
for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. I definitely didn't have like I think they explicit I don't know if they explicitly said it in the trailer or not, but I was like, "Oh, okay, they're just vampires." Like I knew that kind of going into it. But again, like we'll talk about the little like there are definitely comparisons to From Dusk Till Dawn. There are absolutely comparisons, but that's like almost feels like an homage in this, not a straight rip off and like let's use this as a way of like, hey kids, remember this movie? You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like the movie ever did that. Like it was very self-aware the entire time of what it
Hmm.
was trying to be, and I really appreciated the again overall vision of it. But
Yeah.
yeah, go watch it, go check it out. If you're sticking around after this, we're gonna spoil the shit out of it. So
Yeah. And enjoy the trailer for the next Jordan Peele produced movie.
oh yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen
Oh,
the
it
trailer
played it
yet.
played with
Yeah,
this. It
I
played with
didn't
this for
see it.
me.
That sucks. Yeah, they didn't play it for this
It
one.
looks really good. It looks like it's about like CTE.
Interesting. Oh
Yeah,
man, you know that's getting its own quickie. We're doing an episode
it,
on that
it
shit. Like,
oh for sure. It looks like Crimes of the Future but with CTE.
talk,
That's what
talk
it looked like
dirty
to
to
me.
me. Oh, say it
Yeah,
slower.
it looks very strange. There's another little plugaroo in there.
Absolutely. Go listen to our Crimes of the Future episode, by the
So
way.
so
I've been talking about that movie a lot lately, so go listen to that episode.
so let's jump into the
Yeah,
spoilers
please.
and you know
Please.
it's a little free form. It's like jazz. It's like the
It's like
blues.
it's the words
So
you don't say.
that's right. So where do you want to start? I feel like I know. Do we just talk about it?
It's just the music, man. Like straight up the fucking music from beginning to end is goddamn incredible. Like it is again, like we were talking about, they just feel like music videos. And in the fucking middle of the movie, that's where I want to start, man, on that scene, on the
Yeah,
scene.
that's what I
Please
figured.
let's yeah, please let's talk about that shit.
So so
Beautiful fucking execution.
so at the beginning of the film, like before anything starts, they show us these like
It looks like it's embroidered.
yeah, it's like this
Yeah, it's
very
because there's like light
stylized.
coming off of it and it looks like it's raised. It's very cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm trying to think of I guess it's like folklore. That's the word I'm looking for. It's
Yeah,
showing like
yeah, yeah.
different types of folklore and talking about how there's always been people with, you know, musical prowess and how
Hmm.
they've always you know, been able to bring people together and there's like, you know, perhaps a sense of spirituality to that.
Yes.
And just that they can heal people and they can make people's lives better and all these
Hmm.
things. But also, when you do that, you open the door for evil to get in as well.
Yes.
And so that's kind of like the idea here is that everyone at the bar. The sinners are not the vampires. The sinners is everyone who ends up going to the bar
Exactly.
because the preacher talks about how, you know, they want to sweat on each other and shirk their responsibilities to their families. And
Which is what you're doing at a nightclub.
yeah, no, true, he's right, you know. Shouldn't you be home warming up formula? Um, damn, I gotta pocket that. That's a fucking
That's a good one.
crazy.
That's a good one.
That is fucking
To
destructive.
just lay that on someone. Yeah,
That's a
absolutely.
freebie to all the listeners. And please come back and let me know how that goes when you drop that on
Absolutely.
someone.
Right in the devil's work podcast at gmail.com.
But there's a scene in this movie. So with that being,
That's
you
the
know, that table
context you
being
need.
set, that
Yes.
there's that supernatural link of music. God, there's this part where there's an older blues musician, and that's Slim, that's Delta Slim, that they bring
Hmm.
to play at the bar, which they call the juke joint. And he's playing piano for a while, he's singing, and then he says, "Hey, we've got the preacher boy here. He's, you know, supposed to be this blues man. Why don't you just come out here and play a song?" And he already knows. He's played with him. He's seen. He has respect for him.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's a flashback that happens later in the movie, but if it bears mentioning now,
Yes.
where he's telling him, like you said, this is our music. This wasn't invented
Mhm.
by the Americans. This wasn't invented in America. This is our music that we've been doing.
Yes, they brought that with them.
We just brought it here with us,
Hmm.
and they can never take that away from us. And there's this beautiful scene
Oh.
where, as he's performing the song, he says he wrote for his father, where he's basically telling him, "You want me to be you,
Hmm.
and I can't. I need to be me." And like
Yep.
I said, the weight of familial expectations is something I'm not a stranger to.
Yeah, exactly.
So I resonated with that very hard. And as he's playing this song, the voiceover from the beginning of the movie plays again,
Hmm.
talking about how music can connect the past and the future and the present. And there's just this beautiful
Uh,
blending of like people from the time and from before the time
yeah.
and like
So
ancestral
So it's
like
so cool how they do it. They first start off, and I noticed this right away, which I was like, "Oh, this is fucking cool right off the bat." And then, like, as it changed and the scope like widened, I was even more impressed. But first starts off with historically what like the blues essentially led to, which was rock and roll, and then it was
yeah,
hip hop. It was hip hop, and then it was just kind of like these like the
these
specifically
blendings.
blendings of this like genres within the blues and like what that sprouted from. But then it shows you how internationally the music has connected every single culture.
And
And like it
I
shows, oh, go ahead.
but there's also like there's a Chinese couple that they work with that they
Yeah,
seem to
yeah.
be like family friends with,
Hmm.
and we see their ancestors as well.
Yeah, we also see Native American dancers in there as well.
Yep,
Like, yeah,
yep.
it's that's what I'm saying. It's beautiful how they do. And you were talking about across time. So literally there's it's someone twerking up
Yes.
against someone who's like playing a blue like an electric guitar, a blues guitar. Like
Yeah, and the
so
guy
funny.
the guy playing electric guitar like the Flying V, and he like looks like Bootsy Collins, but obviously Bootsy plays bass. This dude's playing
Yeah,
guitar.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was
And
thinking George Clinton and the Parliament Funkadelic.
exactly
Yeah.
the vibe.
Yep.
Exactly the fucking vibe.
Yep.
But it's and then when the scratching comes in and like when the bass and I accidentally bought us tickets for like the Dolby Theater and I was kind of annoyed at first because
Oh,
I'm a cheap bitch.
for sure.
Um, and then when that
You
scene came
got
on,
treated.
I was like, worth it, worth
Yeah,
it. I
100%.
understand why someone would pay $20 to see a movie.
Yep. Yep.
You could come here not on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Yeah. That's so funny.
but yeah,
100%. Yeah.
it was just like so beautiful. And then the whole barn like burns down around them, just
Oh, the way it
metaphorically.
ended was so good. Oh, they're dancing in the barn itself. But they're been dancing on the burned ashes while the structure around them is still like the skeleton of the structure is still on fire.
Yeah,
And that's where we get the introduction to the fucking vampires. I was like, get fucked. That shit is sick, dude. It's like
yeah.
some Kill Bill ass shit, man. It was so good.
How they're able to like see it, and it's funny
Yeah.
because I've seen people online be like, "Well, I'm just confused. Like, is the music good or bad?" Because like,
No. What the
and it's
fuck? Did you
and
watch the movie? What the fuck?
yeah, it's more just like by having that pure spiritual state that like it's like in Dragon Ball Z where it's like they're trying to sense each other and they can suppress it, but then if Goku shoots a big laser, then of course,
It's like a
the
beacon.
yeah, they're like, "Oh shit, I can tell someone just shot a big fucking laser."
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was thinking like in the how kind of like Insidious was playing with the sleep realm and like
Hmm.
being like unconscious and like how like demons can seep in through that like when you're in your vulnerable state in REM sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of what I kind of likened it to. You know, that's sort of the realm that we're playing in. Like it's sort of like they're demons, but they're not like by that name
But
specifically. You
yeah, well
know,
they call them Hanes a few
Haynes.
times.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Which I thought was interesting.
Hanes are like from what I can gather,
Is
it's
that
like
hoodoo?
I'm not sure.
I think it's in hoodoo culture.
It sounds like it, but I'm no fucking
Yeah,
expert.
yeah. Because they specifically bring up hoodoo as a thing, like that she's performing. That's specifically there's like that line is there. It's very pointed.
Yeah, yeah, because we do have like a priestess sort of in the cast.
Hmm.
Smoke's wife Annie.
She's so good in this fucking movie, man. Loved her.
Yeah,
Loved her.
everybody in this movie is incredible. But what I really loved about the scene was like it was just like a visual representation of like kind of like I was saying earlier about rapping and hip hop,
Hmm.
but it's
Hmm.
everything in American music.
Yeah,
Jazz,
absolutely.
blues, funk, hip hop,
That's the
punk.
thing. It was
Like
visual, but it was also audio because there were sections of the music blending into each other. Like the
yeah.
trap beat would be playing, the blues guitar would be playing over the trap beat, and then that would like fade out into like scratching. And then
Yeah.
it was very fucking good, man. Oh man, I wasn't expecting because all I heard was the scene from everybody's talking about online. Everyone's like that scene alone should win him like best director, which I agree with. I
Yeah.
100%. But like I was like, what scene is it? And I think there's like a specific section where I think what's her name? The character who Sammy ends up with. Uh I forgot what she ends up singing and
The
stuff. And
lady who gets her
yes,
hoodoo
yes,
licked.
yes, exactly. Yes, yes. She I think she kicks off the scene like where it like starts off where like she's like, okay, like now it's time for this guy to start singing or whatever. And I was like, oh, is this what everyone was talking about? And I kind of got ready for it. And then like when it popped up, I was like, that's fucking cinema, my guy. It's so good.
I feel like too, like I have to word this very delicately because I'm not a religious person. My name is Skeptic. It should have
Yeah,
really clued you
yeah.
in.
Not yeah,
You
hard
know,
same, not either, buddy.
I'm usually fine with people's spirituality as long as it doesn't include like, and by the way, gay people will burn in hell. Like
Yep.
that's
Yep.
where it
Yep.
gets crazy for me. But as
100%.
long as you're cool about it, you can believe in.
Keep that eye of Sauron focused
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
objective.
Just don't take the hateful parts and you're fine.
Absolutely.
But this was probably the best cinematic representation of what it feels like to actually perform music. Because
Mm,
showing someone on stage and there's like thousands of people, that doesn't really show you like what it feels like to do that.
yeah.
And obviously I don't think I'm like connecting with my ancestors and ghosts of the
Absolutely
future,
not. No.
but there is sort of a like outside of yourself feeling to
100%.
performing. And I feel like this nailed it in a way that like words never could.
I
The way
yep.
you feel the goosebumps watching that scene,
Mm-hmm.
it's like the exact way like when you're on stage, you're still you, but you're a slightly different idealized locked in version of you. And
Absolutely.
the way it comes and goes, you're totally, I've played probably close to 1,000 shows. I've
I have
played
not. I've played
at least a
I've
hundred
played
on the
I've
road.
played way less than that.
But I'm going to tell
But
you
I get it, but I understand it though.
that stage fright feeling never stops. Every time
Mm-hmm.
until I step on stage, there's
Hmm.
one point in the night where I go, "Oh man, why am I still doing this?"
Straight up.
And then I get up there and
Yeah.
literally
All that fades away.
the moment it becomes real.
Hmm.
Like whether that's the moment I step on stage and we start, or I'm standing up there for a few minutes, we have to mic check, and then it's just like, oh, yeah, you guys are good. All right, good to go. Bring the house lights down. Okay.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah, it
becomes
becomes second nature. You're just like lock in, like
it just becomes
100%.
something different, and it's just beautiful. I've never felt like it's actually been.
Been portrayed accurately like that. I 100% agree with that. I have said it before in various conversations, off the mic and stuff, but that's the reason why I go to live shows. That's the reason why I love live music so much is because when you're in that room, like we brought up in the green room episode, that energy cannot be replicated. You
Hmm.
only get whatever that energy is in that room one time. Even if it's a tour and you're seeing the same show happen to any other person, it's only happening one time. You know what I mean? Like, it's very interesting how that all, and I've also brought this up to before, and like how you were talking about how it becomes real, and like there is a sense of spirituality that's kind of associated with performing on stage because I have witnessed people on stage who are not here anymore, and I've never seen them more alive than I did when they were performing on a
Hmm.
stage for people. It was it that's what I'm saying. Like, and you're that's incredibly accurate the way you said it. The way that this scene portrayed that, it felt very like prolific. I don't know. I'm trying
It's
to like look for the
it
word here. I'm struggling for
it's
it.
it's like for us, it's not carrying the spirits of these people as much
Hmm.
as it is carrying like the metaphorical spirit
Yep.
of all of our influence and all the artists that we idolize and all of those things. Like when
Yep.
I go on stage, like for sure a part of me is like, this one's for idea,
Yep.
you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
and
Yep.
and especially now having just lost my dad and how much he cared about the music. It is like, yeah, it's all for him,
Hmm.
and there
Exactly.
is that, like, I'm putting all that on my back right now to go up there and do this thing that not many people can do,
Yep.
and that not many people that do it can do well.
Hmm.
And I and
100%.
I can do both of those things, so I'm gonna get up there and I'm gonna fucking do it.
You're goddamn right. Ooh, ooh, I got hyped listening to that shit, man.
But
Hell
it's
yeah.
yeah, Skeppy Robbins over here.
Yeah.
uh
No, but you're so right. That scene, that is someone that has so much love for what he is A doing and like the culture that he's
If you
drawing
don't
from.
like that scene, you're a racist. I just flat out. I guarantee there's people who are like, yeah, I thought it was a pretty cool movie till there was twerking in it.
Yeah, yeah, yo, I hear it immediately. Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh, someone's gonna have a problem with that," and that's fucking crazy. Like
Someone named Connor
wild.
is gonna have a lot to say
Abs-
about this.
exactly. Yeah, and if yeah, like fuck you, twerking on a burnt down ashes in a house. That shit was beautiful to watch. I was like, "Oh my
And
God."
especially once we learn what that building was used for.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's right up top too. You learn that when they're buying it off the fucker. Like,
Well, no, they don't know they know that
oh
it's an
well,
old
they
lumber yard, and they
yeah, but
know.
it's heavily hinted at because he's like, "What was on these floors?" Remember when he asked?
Oh,
Like,
you're
yeah,
so
it's very. That's what
right.
I'm saying. Like, it's not very
You're
hidden.
so
Yeah.
right. So I just didn't connect that yet at
Mm.
that point. But yeah, pretty much they say this place was a slaughterhouse,
Slaughterhouse.
and
Yeah.
they do come to find that the guy who sold it to them is the Grand Wizard of the KKK,
Hmm.
all these things. So basically they were lynching people there and
Yep.
killing them.
Exactly.
And
And which
and
is crazy to fucking wrap around when you like see. I mean, oh my God, we'll get to the ending eventually, but
yeah.
good God, that ending.
It's so funny how that ending is just a little dessert.
Oh yeah,
It's just a little,
yeah. That's
it's literally just a snack. It's literally just a fucking snack.
they gave
But
the bastards ending. Like it just was fucking bad, Inglorious Bastards. Like it's literally just that for like the ending of this. The ending
pretty
you
much.
want. You want to see that, and it's so satisfactory.
So while we have the main storyline of the twins coming back, of Sammy wanting to be a blues man, of Mary, Stack's ex-girlfriend who's white passing, but we find out she's, part black, and she says at one point he tells her, she's like, I have a rich white husband and a
Yeah,
farm, and I never wanted any of those things. I never wanted to be white. I
wanted to be
wanted to be
white.
with you.
Yep, yep.
And it's just like the fact that he pushed her away because he was afraid they'd get lynched because
Hmm.
she's white passing.
Yeah.
She's not even
I know
actually
it's
totally
literally
white.
never expressed, but that's literally what the text of that is reading as. Like it's so fucking sweet, man. And okay, like I
Yeah,
do want to bring up
painfully,
it
painfully.
really is. Like it's so hard to stomach that fucking like storyline, but then you have the other like relationship also going on as well.
Mhm.
When they're talking in the beginning or when they first introduce her, I was already in fucking tears like when they started talking about like the child and everything and everything that happened
Yeah,
between because it's not expressed explicitly until he's at the gravesite and he says like don't worry like Papa's here.
yeah.
I was like, oh boy, that's rough. Like that's rough. And then she just starts talking. I was like, oh my god, stop. I'm not crying. You are, bro.
I love. We were talking about the Greasy Strangler before this. I was telling you that you should watch it because it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, we're
And
gonna do an episode on it, so I
oh,
don't need to
I'm
yet.
gonna
I don't
put it
need
on
to yet.
everybody. They're all gonna
Absolutely.
have to. So um there's a lot of crazy lines in that movie. That's why I bring
Yeah.
it up. But a hilarious line in this movie that would not have been out of place in that movie is when they're at the train station and she's like, "You told me you loved me," and he said, "Yeah," and I told you to stay the fuck away from me. You didn't hear that part, did you? And she goes, "Oh, well, I got a little confused because after you said that, you stuck your tongue in my coos and fucked my brains out."
I was like, God damn.
Coos? I did not know the word coos
Kuz
until
was that old?
no, no. I
Or just that
never
never heard?
no, no. I never heard that word until I read Preacher like 10, 12 years ago. And that word is all over Preacher. And it's just hilarious to me.
Yeah,
It's just a
yeah.
weird
The
word to be
funny
a
ass
swear word.
organization of letters.
Yeah.
Well,
You
yeah,
fucking
like
coos.
speaking of that scene, that scene when he's like pitching the party to everybody around there, that's literally just Cheech in front of the titty twister from Dust Till Dawn. It's
That's
literally just
funny.
him. It's just him doing that. He's just the hype man for the bar.
That's all it was. That's,
Yeah.
they complement each other's skill sets.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I
God.
mean, so yeah, but going back to that scene real quick with her when they first introduced, what was her name again? I forget. Was it Annie?
Annie is Smoke's wife. Mary
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah,
Stack's
yeah.
girl,
So yeah, his
estranged.
estranged girlfriend. Yeah, yeah. Annie was incredible in that scene alone. Just her introduction was so fucking well done. The her line, her bit of dialogue when he asks her, he's like, "How you be?" and she's like, "No misery's worth complaining about." I
Yeah,
was like, bars, bro.
that
Fucking
was a sick.
bars, dude.
Yeah, I thought so too. I'm gonna use that.
Absolutely. I was like, that was so well done. It was so,
It was just I loved like the fantasy of period pieces that everyone was just like so erudite and like
yeah.
incredibly well
Yeah, yeah.
spoken.
Spoken. Yeah, yeah.
Like it doesn't matter who's making it. It's always part of a period piece, and I don't mind it because it feels right. It feels good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Yes. It feels like a warm blanket. Yeah.
They weren't dropping 300 hours on Elden Ring. They were dropping 300 hours on the thesaurus.
I feel like that's pointed because I just reached 300 hours in Elden Ring.
Oh no! I just recently found out that there's a thing on the PlayStation that'll show you your most played games,
Oh, okay.
and Witcher 3 is number one.
Nice. Nice.
I have more hours in Witcher 3 than Elden Ring somehow.
That's incredible.
One playthrough.
One playthrough,
One
Jesus
playthrough.
Christ.
I recommend it, but
Yeah, going when you're ready.
it's a lot.
Set aside a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So okay, yeah, but then like we can get into the actual like the vampires themselves.
Yeah.
Loved. Oh my God, love the actors who played them. So the
Yeah.
first intro three, fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
So good.
Jack O'Connell as Remick. He was great. He was
Oh
really
my
fucking good.
God, he was so good. Like when they busted out into song, I was like, dude, this shit rips too. Like it's so good. That shit was like a flogging Molly concert with the fucking them circle pit to the folk
That
music.
That shit was it was a little more Edward Sharp in the Magnetic Zeros by my estimation, but how did I just pull that name from the ether? Fucking Florence and the Machine.
Yep, exactly. Dude, that was fucking incredible. And I like the design choice. There was like hints at least to 30 Days of Night.
Mm.
30 Days of Night was all over that, especially when with the first kill when he takes out the husband in the home, when she walks back there and then she's like, I forgot his name, but she's like calling out for him, and then like she like looks over and he's in the chair already with like the blood running down his
Hmm.
neck. I was like, oh, okay, 30 Days of Night, that's what's up. I was like,
Hmm.
that's cool, that's fucking sick. But then like when the burning and shit happens at the end and like he fucking becomes like full demon, I was like, yo, that's sick, dude. I kind of wish that there was more makeup like that throughout the movie, with that
Yeah.
like demon like fucking missing like whole
The
sections of
the
his face and shit.
the effects, like near the end, everyone was like real fucked up. Like all,
Yeah.
I guess he just had enough time to like heal all of his, wounds from being turned because
Yeah.
everyone had like big gashes and like weird like bubbles on their face from like
Yeah, dude.
infection and stuff.
Fuck, dude, cornbread was fucking crazy, dude. That shit was awesome. I loved the way
I I
his makeup looked.
I love the energy of somebody being like, "Listen, bitch, I'm being fucking polite."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, for sure.
uh,
Yeah, there's the threatening like aura about them, but yeah,
yeah, yeah. When he's like begging to be let in after
let
he
back
gets
in.
turned.
Oh man, I love that they use that as like they cut away from the actual thing that happens, and then they keep using people walking up to the door as like, oh, are they turned? Did they
Mm,
turn? Like they get eaten? Because it's also like the guy that they just straight up throw in the fucking in the outside
yeah,
because he's drunk, passed out, and there's wine all over the floor. Like that was fucked up, dude.
yeah, yeah. They thought it was blood, but it was either. I think the implication is he threw it up, and it was just like,
It was just all
but
over the floor.
it was just biley
And
because of
he
when
passed out.
Slim like almost when they had to eat the garlic cloves.
That was disgusting.
I like garlic, bro, but that's
Yeah, yeah,
crazy.
that's too much, dude.
That's crazy.
Absolutely.
The way she like that
Yeah,
would have
yeah,
been
I
me.
know. I felt that one too. I was like, oh.
That would have been me for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And then him, yeah, you're right. Slim, when he goes for it, and he just like starts hacking up a fucking lung almost. It's so accurate. I was like, yeah, that would do that. That's exactly what
Hmm.
I started thinking. I was like, he's not turning. He's just having a bad reaction because he's been drinking.
Yeah, exactly. Then you fucking ate a clove of garlic, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I was like, that's not at all. Yeah, it was so funny. But God, and the humor, man, the humor in this movie works so well.
yeah.
So well. And I like that a lot of it was from
Did
Slim.
did you catch that there was a FUBU joke?
No.
There was
What?
there's a joke. Do you know what FUBU stands for?
Uh, for us, by us,
And
right?
how did he
Oh, that's
describe
funny
the
as fuck. Yeah.
how did he describe the
The
juke
bar.
joint?
For us, by us. Yeah, yeah.
I thought that was absolutely fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I was like that was such an unnecessary fucking like thing to hide in there
Dude, the part that cracked, I think that had me
in a
fucking.
humorous way, humorously,
Dude,
you know.
the thing that had me dying was when she was already turned, she goes back to Stack in the room. They start getting freaky, and then like she starts drooling on it. He's like, babe, you got some like spittle on you or some shit. And she's just like, you want some?
Wow,
Just does it. I was like, that's funny as fuck.
I never thought I'd live to see the day where I'd tell you, don't kink shame.
No, it wasn't that. It was just like, again,
Look, buddy,
outlandish to put
look,
it
buddy.
in
I'm
there.
sick of your bullshit. You're a bullshit
That was
artist.
some wild shit to throw in there in the fucking in the midst of everything going on. I was like, that's fucking hilarious,
That shit was. I've never felt so seen. God, the
Oh my God, that movie is horny though. That shit,
It's
this shit
very
is
horny.
freaky, bro.
There's back shots, there's bouncing
Yeah.
on it crazy style, there's spit drinking, there's low licking,
Yeah, and like graphic detail
there's
too.
pussy eating.
Just put it.
There's a scene about eating pussy, and there's a scene
And then there's
of,
just a scene of, yeah.
and she says, "Well, let me wipe it off for you," and he goes, "No, no, madam."
No, no.
And
I
I'm
will
not,
taste you.
this is not comedic upselling. That's what happens.
That's just straight up what happens. It's like that's what I'm saying. This movie is freak E, bro.
Fucking
Capital E. That shit is crazy.
yeah. These are the freaky tales.
These are
God,
so good.
when he changes though, when she bites Stack and he changes, Smoke is like so unwilling. Like Annie's telling him we got to move his body outside. Like
Yeah,
she's the first one to peg like that they're asking to come in and all this stuff. And
absolutely.
she's like, "Yeah, no, we need to get him out of here." And he won't listen, so they like lock him in this room and they talk through the door, and that's when he tells him
That
like
was crazy.
he's
That was
like
a good scene.
we've been in the German trenches and the
Hmm.
Chicago streets like
Yeah, he's like, I always had to keep that boy safe, and like now things change or something like that. I forgot the exact
he's like
dialogue, but
I couldn't keep him safe basically is what he's
yeah, yeah,
lamenting,
yeah.
and then he leaves and he breaks out of the room and runs past all of them and everything. God,
She
and
hits him with the garlic water. That's how they like find it out. Yeah.
yeah, they throw the pickled garlic in his face
Hmm.
and it burns him up and he runs away before he could get anybody. God, yeah. I really loved with Grace and Bo, the Chinese couple. Bo leaves and gets turned and he comes back and like
Oh,
uh
that was so good.
as Cornbread's eating this guy's
Yeah,
face, he's
yeah.
like, "Come on, car's warmed up.
He's
Let's
like, all right,
go."
go. Car's warmed up. Let's go. Let's go. I
And
was like,
she's like,
that's
"He's
so.
killing
Yeah.
him.
He's like,
And
ah,
then he's
yes.
gonna kill me."
Yeah, dude. I know. I love that cornbread just became the boomer from the fucking from Left 4 Dead.
Yeah,
That's just the boomer from Left 4 Dead.
pretty much. He just ripping that dude's fucking face apart.
Yeah, dude.
And then they revealed the like mind link thing, which was really
That
interesting.
was really cool. I really liked that aspect of it. I was really hoping to bring that up. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, 100%. That was like it almost felt like the hive mind from like The Last of Us type of thing, like how they all like feel the centralized pain and stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't follow the rules of, and sometimes it is this where you kill the main vampire and either they
Yeah.
all die or they turn back or whatever. And they explicitly are like, it's not that.
Yeah.
But I think what ends up happening is that he gets all of their like access to their mind,
Mhm.
and when he feels like opening it up, they can feel him as well.
Oh,
So,
interesting. Okay,
so I
yeah.
think what ends up happening near the end when they do all seem to like feel his pain is that they all were like communing by being like, let's all just like totally mind link. But
Mm.
you know, it seems like it's sort of a fluid situation as
Yeah, yeah,
opposed
yeah.
to like a hard and
Hard and
fast
fast rule,
kill
yeah.
him, everyone dies.
Yeah, because I did. I mean, speaking on that, like to speak to the hive mind thing, when they're outside the barn and like they're almost get like I think it was after they had just killed the dude, after Cornbread's eating the dude. Like they're talking to them and they're being like, just come out or whatever. Like, this is better for you if you just come out here and whatever. Like every single one of the people who's like concerned, their loved one comes out and starts talking to them directly, being like, I think it was like when Smoke is talking about Stack, and Stack is just like don't speak for me or something like that. He's like, I didn't like I could have made this choice or whatever, and I'm choosing now. Like we were never gonna be free in this world. I had to actually take the action to do this and stuff, and now it's better this way.
Yeah.
Like, I really like that they had that connection, the push and pull between different like family members coming up to them and being like, "No, yeah, it's great. Water's great. Come on in."
Yeah, it's interesting how and I think Remick did have like influence over their minds. Like I don't think like Bo would have just been like, "Yeah, threaten my daughter."
For sure, for sure.
I
Yeah,
think he
yeah,
just was like whatever he says, I'm
yeah.
good. You know, like the way that it's interesting the way that like possession is no longer you. Vampirism is like you just go, well, I'm a vampire, so I guess I'm evil now, baby.
Hmm.
You know, like
Yeah, yeah.
it's funny how it works that way sometimes.
I think that's in this world in particular, like this in the movie, the world of this movie, like it's kind of like that's what it is, where like they turn into that, and then it's just like, because she says something about like where they're not zombies because they're not like linked to, or their souls not like away from their body, or I forgot
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
how.
yeah. She said that's not a Hane because it's not something inhabiting them and suppressing them.
Yes, exactly. And
It's
so
that
vampirism, like their souls locked inside
yeah,
and
and it can't
can't get to
exactly.
like to the afterlife and can't pass on, can't pass on.
Exactly. And so he mentions that that's what he wants is what Remick tells him is like so this is borrowing a little from his like final speech and a little from when he's talking at the door, but ultimately what Remick like explains is that you know the Christians came to Ireland and they, you know, killed his father
Yeah,
and took his
they
land.
forced
Uh,
their beliefs on him.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they
Yeah.
forced their belief. I love that line. That was such a crazy line to drop. He says, "I long ago they came to my land and they forced this belief on me, but their words still bring me comfort sometimes." Do you
Yeah,
remember that?
exactly.
I was
Yeah.
like, that was fucking crazy,
Their
dude.
words still bring me comfort.
Hmm.
It's funny how there's like, you know, the uh pseudo historical story of like, you know, Irish people were the first slaves and all this stuff. There's like
Yeah, yeah.
there is like a level like they were oppressed by the British, you
Hmm.
know,
Hmm.
and so I and Christians. Um
Yeah,
so there's like a level there, but like obviously it's not the same thing.
absolutely.
But I feel like they were kind of, you know, Coogler was kind of going for they're both victims here, you know, the Irish and the Africans who would become
Hmm.
or you know whose descendants would become African
Enslaved.
Americans.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's a connecting thread of like they were both oppressed and Remick became what he became because
Yeah, violence begets violence.
well, it's like it's kind of unclear like what happened to him, what turned him, whether it was one of those Christians or what it was, but you know, the implication is that
Yeah.
he's a, you know, 2 or 300 year old vampire
Yeah.
by this point. And
Because you're never
he
really like clear on his like objective. Like you know that he wants Sammy, but you're
well,
like,
he tells him. He tells him at the door. He says
but he just
that
says that he wants to communicate with them, right?
no, he says that and this is a key thing. So when we see the scene in the barn,
Yeah.
they're connected spiritually to the past and the future.
Hmm.
And then when we see the scene that you said is like flogging Molly-esque, where
Yeah.
they're all
Yeah.
outside and they're playing, there's none of that because their souls are locked inside of their
Oh,
body. They
interesting.
cannot commune with their ancestors. He tells him, "We just want Sammy. Give us Sammy, and we'll let you
That's right.
live.
Yeah.
I need his gift so I can commune with my people. It's been so
Yeah.
long since I've seen my people."
Oh, okay, okay. That's interesting then, man. That like that's a whole other layer to this that you don't see in vampire movies.
Yeah,
You
like
know what I
if
mean?
he adds Sammy's soul to the web of souls he controls, then maybe that one will allow him to do. But
He
ultimately,
unlocks the other like skill tree.
yeah, because he can play music, and this is the thing. They even say like it's technically sound like they're playing the music very well,
Oh yeah.
and there's a difference between hitting the notes on time and like playing that shit.
But yeah, exactly. I was gonna say,
And
put your fucking back into it, man.
yeah, and
Yeah,
it's like I don't even know how to like explain it in a real scientific way, but just
absolutely.
you just fucking know.
You feel that
There's a
shit, man.
difference between a guy who's playing it and he's playing it safe and a guy who's like
There's a
really
difference between the
really
guy.
playing it.
There's a difference between the guy reading the music, and there's a difference between the guy playing the music.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, totally. Like you could play, covers of songs and it could sonically sound the same, but it's not gonna have the same energy of a fucking Neil Peart drum solo,
nope,
Jimi Hendrix
100%.
guitar solo.
Yep.
Like you'd be like, yeah, that's it. That's his version of the Star Spangled Banner,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not really
Exactly.
his
It's
version,
exactly. It's like a cover of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And so basically like when they're outside, they don't get any of that because
That's very interesting,
they're
man.
locked,
Yeah.
and it's not, and I feel like it'd be very easy for people to go, oh, it's because they're white people and white people didn't create anything and blah blah blah. And that's not even what it's saying. That
No.
scene in the barn is saying like pay homage, be honest.
Hmm.
That is what the beginning of these art forms were,
Yeah.
but it can grow into so much more and it can be something inclusive for everyone. But just be fucking honest and give credit where the
It's
credit
due.
is due, you know?
Absolutely.
And
100%.
I feel like including like the Chinese ancestry and all of that as well is like I feel like if it made sense to do so, he would have probably gone Japanese
Hmm.
because Coogler and Jordan are both, huge anime fans.
Yes.
But I
Yeah.
think just the statement of Asian culture and black culture
Hmm.
is pretty much the majority of what like people actually consider cool,
Yeah.
and it's
Especially
all
now.
emulation of that.
Yep.
MMA is pretty much everybody wants to be Bruce Lee. Let's do the Bruce Lee fighting league.
Yeah.
Like that's truly what it
Yeah.
comes down to,
Yeah.
So
It's so funny to put it that
and it's
way.
not saying, oh, white people have no culture, they don't originate anything. There's tons
Hmm.
of things white people originate. Classical Baroque music is like
Yep.
obviously a very distinctly European style of music,
Hmm.
but what gets played on the radio?
Yeah, exactly.
European Baroque music or, you know, uh African American diaspora westernized blues, jazz, rock, hip
Hmm.
hop, and everything that came out of those.
It's the difference between am I going for a scone in the morning or am I going for a tamale?
Exactly. But it's just like, just pay the homage, see
Hmm.
pay attention to where it comes
Yeah.
from, and it's not, it's so not a dig at white people. But
Oh no.
it is just showing there was a time, and that time it's still now, to be totally
Yeah, I was gonna
fucking
say,
honest,
yeah, yeah. Some
when
of
it's
those words never went out of fashion for some people.
I mean, you yourself go to fucking, metal shows constantly where you're
Hmm.
just in a little fucking, warehouse tucked in the side of somewhere down on a side street.
Yep.
It's where you
I'm
can do
going
it.
to one tomorrow.
It's where you can do it.
Yeah.
And so you do it there. And you
Yep.
just, that's
Where it's socially acceptable to beat the shit out of each other.
exactly. And so that's what it is. If you have to like hide away from everybody to go express yourself, then you're gonna do that, but you're gonna find the people to do that. But
Oh yeah, I
through
never.
through the systemic oppression,
Yeah.
the Tupac, through the concrete, the rose grows.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like to paraphrase.
I never considered that as like as a connection between that. As you're completely right. Like going to like yeah, dingy hardcore shows and stuff is essentially the same as what they were doing in this movie.
Yeah,
Like it's
it's
just literally just the same thing. It's so interesting.
yeah, and like there's an interesting line in this where they say that this is the best day of their lives and that
Yeah.
is the only time Smoke and Stack were ever free
God, that
because they
dude,
were
that made me almost tear up, man. That was so beautifully said too.
like pre-civil rights, the concept of freedom for black people, and even post civil rights, even
Yeah.
today in a lot of places, it's just like a facade. It's just an idea. It's just,
Yeah,
oh yeah, yeah, you're free. Okay. Yeah, just don't ever fucking cross your eyes in front of a cop.
literally. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
don't
Don't
ever
breathe in
fucking
his direction.
ask a question to a civil servant who's in a bad mood. Don't,
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah.
and yeah, so not saying all white people, not saying
Oh
all
yeah.
white culture, but just at a time when the government and the majority of society was oppressing these people,
Hmm.
they still found a way to create something beautiful.
Absolutely.
And you know that it still happens to this day. And so for us to come in and go, well, it's not a black art form. It's like, you know, anyone can rap. It's like poetry. You know, the first
Nah,
rappers made were
nah.
actually country singers. It's like,
It
yeah,
ain't like
no,
that, dog.
like
No.
no, no.
Yeah.
It's especially with the circumstances. It ain't cute. It's not
Yeah,
cute to
for
do.
sure, exactly. And I mean, just to circle back to when he was talking about that, like when he asks him at the bar in the end, he's like, for like you said, for a moment that was the best days of my life. How was it for you? And he tells him, he's like, yeah, you know what? Before I saw the sun, or it was the last time I saw the sun, or something like that. Like I got
Hmm.
to spend it with you, or something like that. But it was that connection, and in particular, like the Ryan Coogler talked about this in an interview he did with the last podcast boys, that the movie was really a way of him figuring out like his or well rekindling and like sort in a sort of way his relationship with his uncle, because his
Hmm.
own uncle he was very close with, and he got terminally ill when he was, I think, finishing up Creed.
Yeah,
And
he's like Creed 2 or 3 is
I think it
dedicated
was,
to him.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So that's why, yeah. He talks about this, that kind of being a huge inspiration for Sammy and his relationship with his uncles. And I was like, that's actually fucking beautiful. And you really do see a lot of that in this, like the dialogue delivery and stuff like that. And like, in particular, that one scene we were talking about, how like he's playing in the car, he's playing the guitar in the car, like while
Hmm.
they're on the road. That scene was fucking beautiful. Like
Yeah.
absolutely fucking beautiful. It really hit, and like it really hit me in a very, very like emotional core, just because of how excited he is seeing his nephew like do something incredible and be really fucking good at it, and just being so proud of him
Mhm.
in that moment, because he's genuinely surprised, he's taken aback the minute he hears his open his
He
voice,
he
like open his
he
mouth.
he thought he was gonna go, yeah, I figured out a couple of scales.
Exactly. I could play Smoke on the Water.
That's pretty much what he expected.
Yeah.
He didn't think it was gonna be all that.
Yeah, he
And
didn't expect BB King.
yeah, exactly. BB King.
Baby. Yeah.
That's almost certainly like techno DJ somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Um man, but yeah, this movie just has such an emotional core, you
Yeah.
know, quite the ass on it too.
You
It's it's nice to look at, I'll tell you that.
motherfucker.
You're very welcome. But he says in that final scene, Stack does say, those few hours was the only time I was ever truly free.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I thought that was insane because
It's kind of
at that
tragic.
at that time, like they talk about it in this movie when like remember the whole thing about the money? How Smoke got mad because they're not using real
Yeah,
money. They
that
have
was
like
interesting. Yeah, they're like chips or something like that,
it's
from
like
something like
wooden
that.
nickels and just
Yeah.
like little printout, well not printouts, you know what I mean, but little like
Like that's what
pieces
I'm
of
saying, like casino
paper.
chips that would only be used as currency within a casino. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's company store money
Yeah, yeah.
for the plantations.
Wow,
And
and that's brought up twice. I just realized that with the little girls too in Annie's shack.
yeah, and he's like, "Why are you taking this? You can't use this
Oh
anywhere else."
yeah,
And
that's
she's like, "Well,
interesting.
I'm not planning on going anywhere else."
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's like they were at that point free to move around, but like No one, everyone's gonna make it hard for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, so like they went up to Chicago, worked with Capone supposedly,
Hmm.
we fought against these different mobs, robbed them, and came back.
Hmm.
But most people aren't them. They're not going through all of that, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
When the action pops off, oh, sorry, I was gonna say, so they weren't really like free at that time, but
Hmm.
also because he becomes a vampire, even though they live for the next 60 years, it's still he is now a slave to something else.
Yeah, exactly. You
So
can't ever see the sunlight again. He's, can't ever
yeah,
have garlic. That's fucked up.
yeah, true. Even though not even as a little treat, even though within the three main characters' lifetimes, slavery was ended. How they're living
Yeah, there
is
was
is
literally
not much better or much
by another
different.
name. Literally just by another name.
There
Yeah.
wasn't a guy with a gun making them pick the cotton.
Yeah.
There's a guy at the store who's not going to give them food unless they pick the
Yeah.
cotton and
Yeah.
get the wooden nickels and go pay for it.
I really loved the scene where Slim tells him when they're driving down the road and he tells him like, "Hey, like slow
Yeah,
down," because they see a bunch of prisoners doing the yard work or doing like just fucking
trench digging,
just trench digging, like just fucking digging, and like he
the
leans
chain
out,
gang.
chain gang exactly. He leans out the window and he's like, keep strong, keep going, pretty much like encouraging them on, and like one of them's like, "Fuck yeah," and then he gets fucking like what did they like fire or something? They like shoot the gun up in the air or something like that. I forgot what it was, but like they're just like, hey, like fuck off.
Yeah, they shoot the gun in the air.
They shoot the gun in the air, and then Sammy asks him, he's like, "What do you know him?" And he's like, "All of them." I was
Hmm.
like, "Damn, dude, that's fucking good
And then and
writing,
then and then
man."
the story he tells how it goes back and forth between like funny to
Oh
horrifying.
yeah,
He,
yeah.
he he's like, yeah, so we were having this great time and all this funny stuff was happening, and then we got paid a bunch of money, and then my friend took all the money out because he was gonna move somewhere and go start a church, and then some white people saw all the money and they made up that he killed someone and raped his wife, so then they just killed him and they cut his dick off.
Yeah,
And
that
that's
was
a
fucking
that's
horrible.
very real.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but white people used to eat black people.
Oh yeah, 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 for sure. All the fucking crazy ass fucking stories
It's
coming out of that time. It's
Yeah,
disgusting, dude.
it's nuts, dude. It's
It's
nuts.
fucking disgusting.
The shit that people will do to like make themselves feel like someone else is inhuman, how inhuman
Hmm.
they will become,
Exactly.
how people divorce themselves from their own humanity to make them believe that you don't have
Hmm.
humanity so that they can do things like that. Like that was cutting off the manhood
Literally
as he
manhood. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like constant because
Hmm.
that was what they were trying to beat into people was like,
Yeah.
oh,
No,
you might think you're free, but are
but
you
you're
really?
lesser than me. Yeah, exactly. But it's like that's what I'm saying. Like it goes back to the conversation that he was also having with Annie when they're talking, where he's like, power is the only thing that I've ever seen in this world. I've seen men die in ways that I didn't think were even possible.
Hmm.
And it all came down to how much power you have, and which you get power from money. And that's why she was just like, I don't fucking want that. Like, I don't fucking want that
Yeah.
money. Like,
She doesn't want power.
exactly.
I
Yeah, it
love
was beautiful, beautiful delivery.
I love how Annie gave him the charm and how in the final battle between Smoke and
Oh
Stack,
yeah.
Stack couldn't bite him because of the
Because of
charm.
the charm. That's okay.
And
That was what happened. Okay, because I was like trying to say, I was like, is he like hesitating or what the fuck is going on? He literally couldn't do it because of the charm.
I think the charm broke him from Remic's mind control. I
Oh,
think that's what happened.
interesting. I like that read.
Because then what we end up finding out in the final scene
Oh, it did.
is
Yeah,
that
you're totally right.
Smoke told him, I'm gonna let you live, but don't you ever come by
Don't go for Sammy.
I almost called him
Yeah.
Miles, that's his real name.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don't ever come for Sammy again.
Mm-hmm.
And he he honors that for the most
Yeah, he
part.
agreed.
And so when they're fighting, we have Sammy outside struggling with Remick, and he breaks the guitar over his head, and the silver plate from the body of the
Dude,
guitar goes
that
into his head.
Oh, that slapped so hard.
And
I
he's
was
in full
like,
Nosferatu mode.
dude,
They have
yeah.
practical effects like
The
makeup
practical
and
on it
shit going
are
on.
so good on that with the fucking plate just sticking out of his head is fucking crazy. I
And then
loved
he just
it.
rips it out
Yeah, they just tossed this in. I was like, God damn.
and then Smoke saves him. I really wanted Sammy to use the broken neck of the guitar we see him
That's
clutching
what
at.
I thought, dude. I thought he was gonna murder his father in front of everybody. I was like waiting for it to happen.
Oh,
I was like,
well,
is he gonna fucking murder that man?
I kind of wondered at the end if there's going to be a reveal that he was a vampire too or something.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah. Walking it. Well, because I was like, okay, then that kind of went out the window when I thought about it even further because I was like, oh, it's all happening in daylight.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I
true.
mean? So I was like, yeah, but or like, was he like the exception to the rule? It was, you know what I mean? It was just like I was like,
Yeah.
that was weird. But yeah, for sure, I thought the same exact thing initially.
And the like fire tornado when Remick
That
dies
was sick.
was
Yeah,
just like such a trip from like the visual language of the movie up till then, but it worked. It wasn't like a crazy
it didn't
departure,
pull me out of it. Yeah.
but it was like, whoa, we went from like practical wounding on everybody to this guy's like a half man bat, you know? So I'm
Man,
I'm
bear, pig.
I'm like a trapped spider. I just sit in here and I wait for him.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. But I think that CGI was very, very tasteful. It
Yeah.
wasn't like anything like overblown or anything. It was very like a little dash of it, a little fucking salt bay on that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting. Annie tells Smoke if she turns to kill her because she does not want to be that, and that their baby is waiting for
Hmm.
them. So
Oh, that when
if
she
she
delivered
turned,
that line, I was like, oh, that's so fucking sweet, man. That was such
yeah.
a sweet line.
But that's where like my one little issue with the movie comes
I
from
get it though.
is I do hate the fatalism and the fantasy and like truly literally the reason they have to put in the Bible that if you kill yourself you'll never go to heaven is that without that little asterisk there,
Hmm.
why wouldn't we all just kill ourselves as soon as we were born? Why is there even humanity?
Hmm.
Like you know what I mean?
Hmm.
If heaven's so fucking good, why even
That
bother?
was their little scapegoat. It was just
Yeah,
like,
which was like,
and
oh,
don't
but
do
if
it.
you, eh, but her just being like, well, it's okay because I want to die anyway, and you should
Yeah.
want to die too, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah.
no,
I
you
think it's one of those things where like the
motherfuckers.
like for Christianity and Catholicism, like suicide's bad for business, bro.
Yeah, no,
It's straight up what it is.
totally. You have to sell that death is better, but you also gotta let them know like it's for dessert. You know, not now. It's a little sweet treat for later.
So
You know what they say, brother? Heaven is a half pipe. But yeah, just that you know
oh man.
that bothers me. But
Yeah,
you know, with in what's going on, it's
yeah.
okay. It does
In
not
context, again, it didn't like take
it
me out
does
of it.
not hurt the movie.
Yes, exactly. Like it's very fair. It's very fair to
I
address that.
roll my eyes a little when I see shit like that. You
For
know.
sure, for sure. Like yeah,
Uh,
like I felt the same way when they showed the baby in the
yeah,
flesh. I was like, all right, come on.
I was like, okay, I was like, all right, so now this you're gonna have a baby feeding on your titty for eternity in heaven. That baby is never gonna get older.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you just have like the worst part of life forever, like both for you and for the baby. To be a
Yeah, yeah.
baby eternally is a fucking hell unlike any other. Can you imagine being a 50,000-year-old baby in heaven and you still can't like express yourself or like have a thought because you're a fucking baby? I think about this kind of shit, dude. All
I too
right.
have taken 4 dabs before we've recorded.
I too have seen the Muffin Man.
Oh my god. Yeah, but that again, yeah, that was
Very
literally the
small,
only
very small. Didn't I
literally but I share that with you though. I absolutely understand that I 100% agree with it. That was the only part of the movie that kind of was just like you didn't have to. You didn't have
Yeah,
to, but you
yeah,
did. Fine,
yeah.
cool, fine.
But I do understand, and I agree with if I
Mhm.
start to turn, take me out.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah,
Zombie, vampire, Zuvembi, whatever it is.
yeah.
If I start to turn, take my ass out. I'm
100%.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I don't want to
Yeah.
be a forever demon, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Um
Yeah, I
and
love.
and unless Reed Richards is gonna invent the antidote the next issue, then don't kill me. Then don't kill me.
Maybe just leave me, leave me alive. Leave me on the fucking oxygen machine.
But that's it. That's the only one.
Yeah, it wasn't like, again, it didn't take me out of it. I still think like okay, we could talk about the scene at the end when they finally come in. That
Well,
shit was sick, dude.
just before that,
Yeah.
because this feeds into this, because I feel like this is actually the real central tragedy of this movie that
Mm.
doesn't set in until that
Mm-hmm.
final scene. So I'll say
Mm-hmm.
this and then we'll go into that.
Yeah.
So when Smoke kills Annie, Mary screams for Annie like so truly and really, and Stack grabs her and they like he runs her away to keep her safe. But they like literally mourn Annie in that moment because they really did want to make them vampires and live forever with them. And
Oh,
so
okay. Yeah, I was really, really confused as to why they were
because
so upset. You know
because
what I
there was
mean?
still so much of them left. With
But
all the
yeah.
others, they didn't like Cornbread. He didn't really seem to be the same guy.
Hmm.
He
For
was
sure.
just saying this
Yeah,
of love and fellowship.
he went full hide. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, I feel like that, sets the table a little bit for the mid-credit jamathon where we
Dude,
see
this shit.
1992. Oh, so Sammy goes back to the church and his dad says renounce it, and we cut to him in the car with the neck of the guitar driving
Hmm.
away.
Hmm.
We get a couple cards, director Michael B.
Oh,
Jordan.
no. I was talking about the full on like attack when she screams like come on in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about. No, yeah. I mean, do you continue though, please? Please.
Oh, well, yeah, no, I was just gonna say the mid-credit scene of him playing guitar, being a jazz legend, having the scar on his face, and he's played by
I
or,
love that.
not jazz, a blues legend,
Blues legend, yep.
and he's played by Buddy Guy, the real blues legend,
I was gonna say, yeah. That was fucking cool to see.
who is and he did grow up a sharecropper.
Does he have the scars in real life too?
I don't think so.
I was gonna say that's a great addition if not. But yeah, that was a I was like, if they built a story off of that, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he doesn't have
No,
scars on his face.
okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna say.
that was just added in for
Oh,
texture.
that was so good, man. So good.
But that's crazy that like I just looked him up real quick and yeah, he grew up sharecropping
That's
just like
crazy.
Sammy.
Just like Sammy. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty fucking nuts to like
So they definitely did inspire. It was inspired by his life as well. That's cool as
yes,
fuck.
well Buddy Guy was one of his uncle's favorites to listen to.
Oh, interest. Wow. Whoa, that
Yeah.
just gave me chills. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
So he
That's awesome.
purposefully reached out to him to be a part of
Wow.
this.
Dude, that's beautiful. Oh my God. That genuinely got me right now. Holy shit. That's
It's pretty great.
awesome.
It's pretty fucking great. That's
Wow.
what I like if I were Coogler and I had made this movie,
Yeah.
I would feel like I no longer had to do anything.
Yeah. Like if I went out on this one, like
Yeah.
if this was my last thing. Yeah. Absolutely.
I
100%.
just realized too, his dad, the preacher, you know who the fuck that was?
Hmm.
Saul Williams,
Why do I know the name?
the slam poet.
Oh, yeah. No
Yeah.
shit. Is that no
Slam
shit? No
poet,
wonder why he's a preacher in
rapper.
this one. He's got the cadence for it.
Yeah, I didn't even
Yeah,
realize till just now.
trip the
Fucking
fuck out,
Christ, dude.
dude. They got heavy ass hitters for this movie. Like this is. I'm telling you, like you could feel the fucking history in this movie. It's crazy.
It just goes to show the respect that Coogler and Jordan
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
They've proven that they're not just two guys screwing around when they make movies. Like
Oh
there's
yeah.
so much thematic meat on the bone. This movie's about family, it's about
Hmm.
ancestry, it's about freedom and the lack thereof.
Hmm.
It's about the racial divide, but not in the way that people think. It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's
absolutely.
about the fantasy of inclusivity, that like
Hmm.
ultimately you want to be inclusive, but like they even say when the white people come, they're like, well, what if they come in here and someone steps on their shoes or they look at their woman for a little bit too long?
Yep.
Then we're gonna have a way bigger problem than just somebody
Hmm.
being pissed off, you know?
Yeah,
And
it's so interestingly handled. I will agree with that. Like very interestingly handled.
it's such an amazing and emotional movie, and that the battle scene that you were talking about
Hmm.
is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, because
Uh,
it's like that is the Lahore scene.
yes,
That's the
there's
Lahore
there's
scene.
a part where Slim cuts himself and then stands on stage, and
Oh,
literally,
that was also yeah, yeah.
I was like,
100%.
this is literally Lahore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was crazy as fuck. Yeah. But yeah, the whole setup for that motherfucker was dope, dude. I was just like, this shit goes so hard. Cause to give the context, like they had just threatened Grace's daughter. They had just threatened Lily, and they were just like, we'll go pay her a visit. And she's like, yo, we're what the fuck are we doing? Like, we're just standing around, like, let's get fucking moving, bro. Let's mobilize. And like I love that she's like, aren't you a soldier? And he's like, yeah. And then she's like, if this ain't fucking call for action, I don't know what the fuck is.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love, dude. She just gets so high. She's like,
She
yo, let's fucking do something,
When
bro.
she's like, "Didn't you shoot two men in the street for looking at your fucking
Looking,
truck,
yep.
and now they
I
killed your
killed your
brother,
brother.
and you're
Yep.
just gonna sit here?"
Yep, exactly. Oh, dude, she's the shit. And then they fucking like, what happens when she starts screaming? Like I forgot exactly why she started screaming and like shouting and like I think
She was like telling them to get their shit together. Then she started making Molotovs, and then Annie tries to stop her for some
hmm
reason.
hmm but I
And
forgot why
then
she starts screaming in particular.
because they grab her and they're telling her to like calm down, and then he puts his hand over her mouth, one of the brothers, and
Yeah,
she
yeah.
she bites his
Yeah,
hand.
Smoke puts his hand over her mouth, she bites him, and then she fucking screams, "Come on in."
Yeah.
It was fun. I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And then yeah, fucking Remick just like does a little like side turn villain thing, and I was just like, this is about to be about to pop off right now, dude. And it did. That
Yeah.
shit was just Lahore. It was like the music kicked in. I was like, let's fucking go,
He made a Jason Statham, "Oi,
man.
I'm just a beekeeper" face.
Oh my god, I
It's
love
what he did.
that's what he did. Absolutely.
God, but
Oh man, yeah, it was so fucking good, dude.
it's
So that
it's
was
it's grounded levels of action though. It's not like they're doing a bunch of kung fu moves, and
yeah,
it's
like some of it is that they're like flying. They're doing a little like high
oh yeah,
leaps. You know
yeah.
what I
But
mean? But
I
it's
mean in
not.
terms of what the humans do,
Yeah, 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 for
like
sure.
the like Smoke and Stack are like the most capable, and they do like some cool stuff, but it's mostly just having good reaction times and shooting
Hmm.
people, not like kind of like I said earlier, Matrix, like kicking off walls,
Yeah, which
like
you get again, you get a little bit of that. I mean, sort of like when he's on top of the fucking bar and like taking him out with stakes and shit. I was like, all right, calm down, Blade. But like, but for the most part, I was like, how do you expect a couple of like people who are have no idea, like very underarmed, like have no fucking clue what they're fighting, have never fought this like supernatural force that they're just gonna come in here and fucking maul through them, and that's
I
exactly
love
what the fuck they did.
I loved that Grace caught on fire while killing Bo,
Dude,
and like
that was hard.
completely incinerated while
That
killing
was
him.
so fucking sick, dude. I was like, yeah, she was one of the best parts of the movie. Hands down, one of the best parts of the movie.
Yeah.
Especially her death. That was fucking, yeah, went out like a fucking G, man. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
It was absolutely fucking wild. So
Absolutely.
so going back to the very ending,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
after the
appreciate you.
no, it's all good. After Sammy's show, he's drinking at the bar, and the bouncer or somebody comes in and says, "Hey, there's a couple people that want to meet you.
hmm
They said they'll pay a couple $100." And he's like, "All right, sure, why not?" And in comes Stack and Mary
hmm I
wearing
love that he has the fucking like rings that go across his
yeah, yeah,
knuckles
he's
that say stack. I was like, that's fucking hard, bro.
it's so ridiculous.
He comes in
And
there fitted out. Both of them look really good.
Mary comes in there looking like fucking Katy Perry, which is
Yeah,
hilarious to me.
she looked like Julia Fox to me for some reason with all the makeup. I was like, did they switch out actors? What the fuck? Yeah,
They just modernized her look.
yeah, for sure.
And they come in, and it seems like threatening at first.
hmm
Mary flashes her fangs to the bartender. That's why he ran away. I don't know if you noticed
Oh,
that.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, she flashed her
Oh,
fangs to
interesting.
him,
Okay.
and he ran away. So Sammy must have like told the people in this club because it seems like it's his club. He must have told them like, this might happen one
One
day.
day, yeah.
Yeah, and so he tells him about the deal that him and Smoke made and
hmm
that he's not supposed to hurt Sammy and all these things. And he tells him, he smells him and he says, "You don't have much time left. I can take the pain away. You can tour forever.
hmm
You can keep gigging. You can live the life you want. It could be beautiful." And he's like, "No, I don't want that."
hmm
And they go to leave. And as they're walking out, he says, "I have to confess something. That night haunts me. I wake up at least once a week screaming, thinking about that night.
hmm
But it was also the greatest day of my life." And he asked him
Yeah.
if he feels the same. And he
Before the
says,
sun went down, it was the greatest day of my life,
exactly,
specifically.
exactly. And he says, "Yeah, definitely." And he tells him it was the only time I was ever free. And this is interesting. This was a Michael B. Jordan choice.
Mm.
Coogler was like, "I'm not sure why, but something doesn't feel totally on here." And Jordan already had the makeup and the contacts in, and he said, "Let me have my fangs." And so he put the fangs in, and it's very subtle. But when he leans towards Sammy at the end before they leave, his fangs come out, but then he just hugs him and he walks
Oh, that's
away.
so cool.
And Kugler was like, "Fuck, like I knew that was it. I knew that we had
Yeah.
nailed it."
Yeah, that's cool as fuck. That's such a good little way that's so subtle though. I didn't catch it. Oh my God.
But just this implication that like even though they're immortal
hmm
and they haven't lived nearly as long as Remick had, they already feel the pain of that immortality.
The
And
existence.
it's not it's not, "Oh, your loss if you don't want to be immortal." It's, "Fuck, man, I
Just
really want
please.
we wanted another person that we know
Oh man, that's
to be with
so
us."
fucking tragic.
Yeah, so there's the
So
tragedy
tragic.
of what they become,
Yeah,
and then there's the tragedy of that they really did want Smoke and Annie to be immortal with them,
absolutely.
and all of that. And
It goes back to like interview with the vampire, dude. Like that's literally what that movie was exploring was the pain of existence when you stretch it out past the normal fucking human length.
yeah,
Like it's so interesting that you have so many aspects of different vampire movies in this one particular like blending of one. But then you have like something wholly unique. It's very like unique in its approach and its execution, you know what I mean? Like and even okay, we didn't even talk about the ending that happens after the sun comes up.
oh yeah, yeah.
We didn't talk
This is the
this.
little treat. This is the little
This was the
treat,
treat we were
and
talking
we're
about.
even making it a little treat in the podcast form.
Exactly.
But he mentioned earlier in the movie, he's like, "Yeah, we got that trunk in the truck,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, it's a trunk full of big ass guns."
Yep.
It was like very, very obvious,
It's their BFG.
Yeah, he's got a fucking light machine gun and all sorts of other
Yeah.
shit in there.
Yeah. BAR. Yeah, he's got a BAR in
Yep,
particular. Yep.
yep. And the God, so he knows that they're coming. Remick tells him, "Hey, these two are his nephew and the nephew's wife." Uh, and it was funny how they showed us his clan robe before Remick killed them, just to be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, don't feel bad for these people."
Yeah. Well, he kind of drops the hard fucking R, and then you're just like, "Oh, the
That's true.
first guy to drop that is the first one to die. I'm down."
That's
Like,
true.
yeah,
That's true. That's the
that's literally
opposite
what
of the
happens.
convention people
That's
normally think of.
literally what happens. I was like, "Fuck yeah, that's good to see."
That's awesome. And he killed their racist baby.
See that?
There was a crib in the room with him.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. No, I missed that completely.
Yeah. So
Racist.
let let's be honest. A baby born in Mississippi to the nephew of the Grand
Yeah, of
Wizard.
the Grand Wizard of the King.
That's a
Yes, sir.
racist fucking baby.
Oh, it's fucking great. I know. I love that you get that though. Like he even just says it. He's like they show the robes, and then he even just explicitly tells me he's like, "Oh yeah, that's the Grand Wizard's nephew over there."
Hmm.
He's a great guy, chill guy. You know what I mean? A real chill dude.
But they tell him that the clan's coming. So that's his whole thing is like he sends Sammy home, he gives him the car, and he's fine at this point, but he's just decided he's ready to die. Annie's
Dude,
gone,
when he's
his
rolling
baby's
up the
gone.
cigarette,
He
like,
can't roll a
dude,
cigarette.
that was fucking with me. I was like, oh my God, man.
The way like I knew I'd caught that the entire movie, but the because he always asked Stack for a cigarette, and at the beginning Stack rolls it and he
Rolls
hands
it
it
for him, he
over
hands
and
it.
Smoke
Yeah.
lights it and they keep, which is hilarious to me because that was literally just, hey, look at how
Look
good
how we, yeah,
look how
that was,
good this technology's become.
I literally thought the same thing. I was like, you're just flexing right now. You didn't need to do that, but okay.
But it turns out there was actually something to it.
Merit to it. Yeah,
'Cause
for sure,
when
for
when he's
sure.
trying to roll his last cigarette and he can't
Uh,
do it and he just like
breaking my heart, dude.
crunches it up and throws it, and then he opens it up and gets everything, and then they show up and he just absolutely shit houses
Fucking,
like 30 clan
it's
members.
just Inglorious Bastards. It's just the
He
theater scene
he
from Inglorious
he literally
Bastards.
was doing too good, so he came out of hiding because he was like, well, it seems like there was a balancing act. He wanted them all to die, but he
Mhm.
wanted to die too.
Yeah. When he walked up, he was just like, "Let's get the job done for sure, for sure."
Yeah, and he caught a couple good ones, and
No, he
then
caught one. Out of all
yeah,
that, he gets shot once. It's fucking crazy. I was like, God damn.
yeah,
That's a terrible shot, man.
sure are motherfuckers. But yeah, it was just a treat for us and a way for him to
uh
go out in a blaze of glory. And then when
beautiful,
he's like
beautiful fucking
between
scene.
between worlds, and the guy's like, "Hey, what's going on? Like, let me go. I got money, all this stuff," and then he just Hitler's him, in Inglorious Bastard.
Yeah,
Just complete,
exactly.
just completely dumps the old
Just
Chicago
fucking
typewriter.
dumps. Yeah, 100%. Just unload, just fucking ventilates that man, dude. It was fucking great. And
Yeah,
I was like, you could shy away from it. You could just show him shooting the gun and not the actual death. Thank you for showing the death too. Thank you
yeah,
for showing that bloody fucking scene. That
yeah.
was so good.
I'm glad he got a cigarette from him before he died, though.
Yeah, I
So
know.
he got
He's
his.
like, I know. He's just like, yeah, fuck you, and then he's like, gives him the
Yeah,
smoke.
yeah. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of cracks me up. The idea of like every racist person instead of saying slurs, they're just like, "You stupid fucking,"
you know,
like they look down and get quiet too. That
they mumble it.
like not even the word, just
You know,
you know.
well, that's
I
what
know
it's
I
become
know I know what.
in
I
20
know
in 20
what.
in 2025. That's what the fuck it is.
God.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, that was the ending we all deserved. That was the ending we all deserved. And that was the thing. I was worried too going into it. I was like, how are they going to cap this off? Because like don't know where you go from here. Like after the fucking like after first of all, like just the sundown or sunrise. I was like, okay, weird. Like we're just gonna linger on this for a while. That's fine. Like that's a good ending on it as its own on its own. But then they were like, no, we're not done yet. We still got like 20 minutes of movie. I was like, hell yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it was incredible. It's
Absolutely.
it's quite an experience.
100%.
I think if you make music, and especially in America,
Hmm.
it's got a lot for you to chew on. If you're just a
Yeah,
human being, there's a lot in there too. But I think especially as a musician
musicians I think are gonna
and
really
and,
connect with this.
and especially as hip hop artists, because there's just as white rappers in a way, I'm half white, so I'm a half white
I was like,
rapper,
I'm
but
very Mexican. I don't know.
no, but
But I get
still,
what you're saying. I don't
but still,
understand.
there's a context and there's places and there's people who would look at
I'm
you
I'm
and just
white passing.
yeah, there's people who would look at you and just simply go, "You're not black, therefore you're a white
You're a
rapper."
white rapper. Yep. Yeah.
And there's,
Oh yeah, for sure.
there's a part of me that used to like, get upset or get offended at
Knee
that, but
jerk
it
reaction. Yeah.
yeah, but it's just like, well, if you meant it as a bad thing, I'm just not going to be annoyed by it because it just is a thing, and I understand
Hmm.
why there's a distinction,
Hmm.
and I also understand that a lot of people have, faked the funk, to
Yeah.
use a popular
Yeah.
parlance,
But it's
and
also just
and
like you're weird for making that a thing that base my personality off of. You know what I mean? Like,
well, in a way, but like there's been enough Vanilla Ices and Tom McDonald's where like you can understand why there's like a reticence,
oh
and
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, POC over here, baby. That's
Yeah.
why I don't
Well,
fucking.
hey, it
I
amazes
scare the whites, in fact.
me that being biracial, some people see you as one, some people see you as the other, and it always
Mm.
blows my mind when people are like, "All right, white boy," and I'm just like, "You're not wrong, but
It's weird to put
I'm
it
just
like that.
how can you see? How can you tell?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I can't correct you, but I'm just. Can you show the math? Like,
Absolutely.
I just want to
Well,
know."
I think it's safe to say this is a very hard recommend. Like,
Oh, big
if
time.
everything we've talked about today, if you've listened to this and haven't seen it, like, go fucking
This
watch
is
it, dude.
this is
Like,
this is horns up, big
yeah, this
time.
is horns all the fucking way up, dude. Like, I cannot stress enough. This is probably contender for my movie of the year.
Hmm.
This is already like in the top contenders for my movie of the year. We're in
It
April, so
it's the
it's
rare movie that doesn't betray its hype, but also I didn't expect this to be this movie
absolutely,
whatsoever.
absolutely. I think it was the most pleasant surprise I've ever had in a theater going into a movie where I was misled in the best possible
Yeah,
way by the
yeah.
marketing.
Yeah, I literally told Amanda, I was like, it's not one of these artsy, companion type of movies
Yeah,
where,
you're fucking crying two acts in.
yeah, well, where there's like themes and stuff to think about. I was like, it's just gonna be, Michael B.
Shut your
Jordan
brain off. Yeah, like.
fighting vampires. Like
Hmm.
I for sure thought within 20 minutes they were gonna be like, "Well, Sammy, this is what we were doing in Chicago." Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, 100%. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people, it's wild too to hear just how much, because that's all I've been reading is how like blood soaked and how fucking violent and gory it is. And I was like, like it is, but it's not until like way into it, like really, really way later into it. Because
Hmm.
even the first like kills from the vampires don't happen on screen.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
the
They're
first
all,
several are like
yeah,
alluded to.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's very interesting that was like the take from people, but I love what the movie's messages are because that is plural as a motherfucker. There's messages in this movie,
Hmm.
and all of them hit. There were all nothing felt again like cheesy, nothing felt over the top, nothing felt over dramatized, nothing felt everything felt subtle. It felt very like directed in its approach. It felt very like he knew what he was trying to say with this movie. And that's a sign of a fucking amazing director or storyteller in general. But like when you know what you want to say and you're saying that shit with your chest, you get this movie. You get
Yeah.
fucking Sinners.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a celebration of so many things that came before it. And it's funny how it works to its credit thematically that
Yeah.
it's kind of a retelling of From Dusk Till Dawn, which is, one of the most popular action horror movies of
Yep.
all
Of
time.
all time.
But it for one, it knows and admits that. Like, not for
Hmm.
1 second did I think that this movie was trying to be like, uh, From Dusk Till Dawn, what's that?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
that's what the lady who wrote The Hunger Games fucking did when
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah, for
questioned her
sure.
about
About
Battle
a battle
Royale.
royale, yeah.
She was like, "Oh, what's that?" Like, "Oh my God, shut the fuck up." No,
Yeah, exactly.
you know.
That's so
Um,
funny.
but it's by wearing that on its sleeve and by
Hmm.
having the barn scene and by having
Oh,
this deep
God.
theme of, past and present and retelling the same story, but it's your story, so it's not the same story, and
Exactly. Yeah.
it's just interesting how that works and how that makes such a big difference to me contextually. And I feel like
100%.
to most people, if they're being honest.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Because I had no inclination that I was gonna get hit with all of these like feelings right up top in the movie. And then I
Hmm.
was gonna care even more for everything when the violence kicked off because the stakes were already so high, and the stage was set so beautifully. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, it slaps, man. I could keep going all fucking night with this. It is a beautiful work of art. Can't recommend it enough. Go see it. I'm gonna go see it again this week. I know I'm gonna make time to go see it again this week.
It's real fucking good.
So fucking good.
God. Yeah, I'm glad I saw it now and I didn't wait a couple weeks and
Yeah.
have things spoiled for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys are getting what was it? I think so Humanist Vampire, I think, is what drops next week.
Yeah.
Because or this week it would have dropped because I'm gonna drop this one after that episode premieres. So, hope you guys enjoyed Humanist Vampire. That was, I had a lot of fun recording that one. You get Coffee Table next
Yeah,
time.
you get to not enjoy the
And
one
you
after that.
so we are sorry for that one.
So sorry. Ooh, so sorry.
Oh my God, man.
So
We're,
sorry.
we're gonna keep the dead baby shit going, man. Fuck.
There we go. Dead baby shark doot 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 doot. Dead baby shark doot 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 doot. Dead
At least
baby
at least
shark
one of
doot
them was a
doot.
racist baby,
Dead
at least.
baby shark. The racist one deserved it. Dead baby shark. Do 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 do. Dead baby shark. Do 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 do.
All
Dead
together now.
baby shark. Do 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 do. Honestly, the world would be in a much better place if we would have killed all the Nazi babies. Dead
The
baby
baby
shark. Do 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 do
shark.
do do. I think that's
Yeah,
the end.
exactly. Yeah, no, it's a fantastic movie. Go check it out. Can't recommend it enough. This one that is gonna bring a close to this quickie. We are gonna definitely be doing some more. I mean, we have. This is gonna be a really good fucking year for horror movies, dude.
I,
What's
ju-
got you?
I just answered the question. Yeah, I would travel back in time and kill baby Hitler. I would. I
And
would.
that's on record, baby.
And if that makes me wrong, I do not want to be right.
All right, you guys. Where can they find us on the socials?
We're on TikTok at the Devil's Work Podcast, Facebook the same, Instagram the Devil's Work Pod. We are
Hmm.
on all the podcatchers. Please give us, a 5-star review,
Yep.
a little typey type in the Apple box. You can say whatever you want. You can let us know who you imagine to have a more delicious dumper. It's Joey. Um, and you can find that dumper streaming on twitch.tv/sideshow.
Yeah.
PSY, spell it right.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm running through I did GTA today. I ran through GTA for a little bit. I was doing my hood rat shit.
There we
It
go.
was a lot of fun. So yeah, come over there. We're doing that. We're hoping to have. I gotta get you on for a stream. We're gonna do like watch alongs and shit. Or
We got sideshow doing hood rat shit before GTA 6. And we also have an email, the devil's
Oh
work
yeah, yeah.
podcast at gmail.com.
I said it earlier, but yeah, write in if What did I say it for? I completely forgot why I even brought it up.
I don't even remember, man. I think we need to
Yeah.
go take another dab
We need
each,
to go
and then
take
we'll
dabs. That's what it is.
remember.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening.
Absolutely.
I wasted my stinger already.
No, that was fucking great, man. Absolutely. Go suck something this weekend. There's a lot of sucking in this movie, not just next. Go suck something. All right.
I'm just thinking of the AI song that sounds like Morgan Wallen, where it's like, I ain't gay, but I do gay stuff, like fucking dudes in the back of my truck. That's how they do it in God's country.
All right. This side of the Mississippi. All right, you guys. Good night. Have a good one.
Mississippi,
Later.
I hardly know her.